Hello everyone and welcome to your first Zbrush for Architects tutorial. In this series, we're gonna make something like this. Now, these are projects I've been working on for a book I called, or titled basically, Fluid X Solid. This is volume 2. So volume 1 is already out and I'm working on volume 2. And I just finished all the projects. So I've been getting a lot of, well, not a lot, but like a few comments saying if I can make a tutorial about how I come up with these shapes. And honestly, it's not that hard, but it's also not that easy because ZBrush is very tricky, I would say. Well, as you can see, this is not the realistic structure. This is more like a conceptual design. And for me, I really like being creative with shapes and, playing with the fluidity of the objects and, soft surfaces, hard surfaces. So I feel like, especially when now there's this AI bullshit happening, I feel like this is the perfect time for anyone basically who's creative to fight back and be like, I can do this in 3D with programs. I don't like the whole typing a prompt and then, I tried it. It was fun, but I feel like it's more of a crutch and a lot of people just heavily depend on it. And then you just have these really, I don't know, designs that are just too computerized for me, to be honest. Anyway, enough babbling. I use Zbrush. And Zbrush for me was really the program that helped me create these forms and these shapes. And I'm not gonna lie, it was very hard to learn because most of the tutorials out there, they seem to be directed towards people who like sculpting. And although, some architects do enjoy sculpting, it is an art form at the end of the day, but I really wanted to have my own take on it, and I just had to come up with my own workflow. So I learned from a lot of people who do sculpting, and then I just figured out how to do it myself. Now, this program is very complicated, I'm not gonna lie. And it took me, I think, half a year to get used to it. It was an interesting learning curve, I would say. So, let's start. This is the first tutorial, and here I'm just gonna talk about the interface and the brushes. Now, I would suggest using Wacom tablets, but for this tutorial, I'm gonna use a mouse, so I can restrain myself a bit from going a bit too fast or like clicking anywhere I want. So yeah, I just want to be like, this is beginner friendly, and we're just gonna see what we can learn in our first tutorial. So let's start. When you open ZBrush, this is what you get. You get this really complicated, overwhelming interface. There's this big box here, God knows what's going on, and then you feel like, oh my god, there's so much to look at, and you just don't know where to start. First thing you need to do is close this box. So you go all the way up here, see this word Lightbox, click it. So now you're like, okay, this is much more, easy on the eye, I would say. The next thing you're gonna do for sure is click here. And then you start having a mental breakdown because you're like, what the hell is going on? I thought ZBrush was a 3D program. It is. And the thing is, I don't know why it starts like this, but this is how it goes. To delete this, you just have to click Control N. So I'm just gonna write Control, okay, and the letter N plus N, okay? Control N, this will delete the entire page. Now the thing is, I want you to notice that when you look here at your, what do you call these things? I forgot already. The menu bar. It's not a very familiar one. File is in the middle and edit is behind it, and you're like, what is going on? The thing is, with the ZBrush, it's alphabetical, so you can see A, B, C, D, E, F. So they kind of organize it in a way where it's like with the alphabets. It doesn't start with file. So this is an indication that, you know, ZBrush have their own system going on, and you just have to get used to it. But the thing is, once you get used to it, it's really, really fun to work with. So this is how it's gonna look. That's okay. My first suggestion, because I want it to be more like what, you know, like basically my style of designing. You go to document and you go all the way to a new document, and make sure this W size is orange. So click new document, you like save, no, and see here, I really didn't like how the box was a bit constrained. I want the entire window to be my working space. The other thing I hate is a gradient, and you're gonna notice, like, every time you try to learn from someone in ZBrush, for some reason we like customizing it. Like, everybody customizes their workspace, and honestly, I have my own UI, but I want this to be beginner, so I'm just gonna show you like the basics of what I really enjoy working with. So go back to documents, make sure you did the new document W size, and I really hate the gradients. So what I do is, see this word range under back, just click it and drag it all the way to 0. Now this is what I like to work with. I hate the gradient look. I don't know what it is, I just don't like it. So let's say you do this again and you're like, okay, it's still not 3D, what the hell? It's okay, relax. Well, we can just do Ctrl N again, delete everything. Now this one here is a thumbnail, so just ignore it. If you want to do any 3D in here, you can see this huge letter S. This means brush. That's like simple brush. It doesn't matter. If you click on cylinder, you click and drag, you get the cylinder. But the thing is, if you click again, you're just gonna have more cylinders. And now you're like, come on. I know. You're like, is this gonna end? How is this such a hard learning curve? It's fine. Do Ctrl N again. Forget it. You should draw one cylinder only. Okay? Now if you hit Shift, you can obviously make it more uniform. Once you're done, go up here, click Edit. And now we're in 3D mode. You know you're in 3D mode because you have this head, which you can rotate. You can also, if you click anywhere around the shape, you can rotate it. If you want to zoom out and in, you have to click Alt and release. So this is a very tricky, now rotating is easy, but zooming in and out is, the shortcut is the Alt, ALT. So you click Alt and then you let go. So you click, you let go. So you click your mouse first, you hit Alt, you let go, like that. It will take a while for you to actually realize or get used to this zooming in and out. You cannot do the mouse wheel, it just doesn't work. What you can do for now is, I would suggest using these here. So these here, like your navigation kind of thing, can zoom in and out here. So if the Alt was a bit too hard to grasp, I would suggest for now zooming in and out. So let's say you zoom too much and you're stuck and you're like, oh my god, I can't leave. You can do the frame. Just click frame, and this will like zoom all. You can just hit F also, and it works the same way. You can also use this guy's head if you want to rotate to have more like ortho views. And so yeah, so it did rotate, zooming in and out, and the panning. So pan is just clicking Alt but not letting go. So you have to click Alt and drag at the same time. If you let go, you're going to zoom in and out. So basically for navigation, it's just Alt, and technically. So if you click Alt, you can pan left and right. You let go of Alt, and suddenly you're in zoom in, zoom out. You can also do this, this button here called Move for now, and you can just pan in and out. Now I know you're thinking, how the hell does this help making the shapes that I showed you? Don't worry, I will show you exactly how we can go from this to like, you know, these exciting shapes where like it looks extremely complicated, but pretty much I've done it all in Zbrush, so it's doable, it's not impossible, and we're gonna learn how to do it, so don't worry. But for now, you just have to like get used to the program, and you know, it is what it is. I'm really not a big fan of the cylinder. I like the sphere. So what I do usually is I go to Tool and I go Sphere 3D. Now you're gonna notice that the cylinder completely disappeared. That's fine. We're gonna talk about subtools, I think, the next time. But for now, just, you know, click the cylinder you had here and choose the Sphere 3D. Now, what should I explain now? Brushes. Now I'm just gonna talk about, you know what? No, let me talk about move and scale. If we click any of these, we get the move and scale, you know, commands. I think this is called the gizmo. If you guys ever worked with the Rhino, so if you just, I mean, it's almost like all the other 3D programs. So if you just click this one, you can make it, you know, thinner, like this. You rotate. If you want to scale it uniformly, this is the one. If you want to rotate, if you want to move, it's the basic stuff. Let me see. The hotkey is W, and if you want to go to draw mode, it's Q. So Q, the draw mode, allows you to work with brushes. So now when you click brushes here, you are completely bombarded with like a bajillion brush, which is fantastic if you want to have fun with it, and also a bit overwhelming because you're like, holy shit, there's so much. Don't worry. You can just the thing with the brushes is that if you just click the letter, so S, it will give you all the brushes that, you know, start with the letter S. If you do T, oops, if you write like, I mean, if you write STN, you get the standard. If you do the brush, you click it and you're like T, gives you all the brushes that start with the letter T. So that's pretty much what it is. Usually people use the standard brush, and it says, okay, you might get this, it says to enable sculpting, convert it to polymesh 3D. Now it's very easy, just go up here and see this one, it says make polymesh 3D. Click it, and now you can do your brush. Now you're probably thinking, this is so pixelated, I would call it. The thing is, if you look up here, it's the number of active points you have, or basically how many points you have in your shape. To make it smoother, you just have to, you know, add more points to your shape. So how to do this? We have this huge, large menu. All you have to do is go to Geometry, click Divide. And you can see the number of points increased. Click Divide again, smoother, and the numbers are increased. So now if I want to draw something, with the brush, you can see that it's better, you know, high quality, I would say, or high def. So there's that. Now to increase the size of your brush, you can just go to draw size here. So these are like your brush, what is this, controls. So you can make it bigger or smaller, like this. And as you can see, you can do this. And you can also make it bigger or smaller with the brackets. So if you just, I think Photoshop has the same shortcut. If you use the brackets, make it smaller, make it bigger, like that. Okay, so let's try to zoom out a bit. What else? I wrote some notes, so I will not forget. Like I said, this is a very complicated program, and I'm trying to explain as much as I can and not forget much. Now, I know as architects we like having a floor. Right, I forgot. If you just click here, make sure that the highlight is on the letter Y. You click it. Now, if you feel better because you have a floor, yeah, it's important. You can also change the perspective mode, make it more perspective, so it's like more familiar for you. You have a shape that's standing like on a ground and not floating in the air without gravity. And yeah, that's pretty much it for brushes. But I would say my suggestion is to try other brushes. So let's go with maybe spiral and see, like, we can do a lot of fun stuff with spiral. Now the thing with divide, you can go lower. So like we can make it with less points and you can make it with higher points. Depends on how many times you click divide. The thing is, if you wanted to set, like you wanted to not have all these, you know, saved lower resolution kind of thing, you just click delete lower. But the thing is, once you click delete lower, you cannot change your mind, be like, oh no, wait, I want it with less points. It just doesn't happen. So if you just click delete lower, then you're set on 520 active points, or how many points you have. Okay. What else am I going to talk about? I mean, I'm a little bit rusty because I haven't done it starting like 5 years or something. It's just insane. Let me see, what else do I want to mention? Let's do more brushes for no reason at all. Let's choose snake hook, maybe. No, wait, I don't want to do snake hook yet. Let's choose Damien's standard. So maybe this one. Okay. So you can do a lot of things. That's why I said it's better if you have. I mean, now it's a bit tricky because I'm working with the mouse, but you know, you can do a lot with the brushes. The thing is, if you click Alt, the brush does the inversion of whatever it's supposed to do. So like Damien standard, it just does this crease. If you hit Alt, then it does it like it pinches it out. So today we learned that the Alt button is very important in ZBrush, and really, like, you can do a lot of things just with the Alt for now. Let's see like another brush and I show you that it really does the complete opposite. So say magnify. If I'm just clicking on it without hitting anything, it just makes it more bulgy, I would say. But if I click out, it just, like, you know, tries to go the opposite command. So as you can see, like it really does the opposite of whatever it is. Okay, so brushes. For brushes, we have these, and it's basically the stroke. I don't think they're important to explain now, to be honest. I mean, they're just like basically how you want to draw your stroke, and it also depends on the alpha. These two like come together. Maybe I'll explain it in a more advanced class or like advanced tutorial, but for now, my suggestion would be just to play with all the brushes you see. And whatever ruin it does, it's fine. Just divide it if you want it less, you know, jagged maybe. But you have to be careful with the point counts because I think depending on your laptop, mine honestly at 11 million, it starts being like, but that's like my laptop isn't the best. It's great actually, it's my favorite, but you know, I feel like other laptops can handle better. Okay, other than that, I think we're done for today, are we? Let me see. If we go alpha, okay, so this is the brush menu, this is the color menu, document. If you want to save, I would suggest going up here actually. See, if you could just click here, you can go up and down. I would go with save as a tool. Now, at the beginning, you're going to be asked, like, if you want it as a project or a tool. I would suggest making it a tool. Like, I'll explain later why a tool is better, but if you want to save it as a tool. But if you want to export it and use it in like other programs, just go here. It says export. Click it. And we can do like a lot. So basically, objects would be perfect because you can open it in so many other things. But you have like, what can I use? Something with AutoCAD, Maya, Collagify, FBX. So yeah, those are the formats you can export in. Other cool thing is actually material, honestly. Like for me, I like material so much. So just click material, you can play with it now if you want. And you can just, you know, choose around a bunch of materials. Some of the materials will not have because I downloaded it. I took it from other creatives. And basically you just click and you just choose any material you want. Now let's say you have this material. If you want to render it, I can do the render now, to be honest. Just click it, this one here, that says PBR, and there you go, you have a render. If you want to save this render, you go all the way to Document, and go to, where was it? Export, and then you're just going to be like, I don't know, let's put it in my desktop, call it 1, hit save. You're not done yet, you actually have to click OK. So there you go. So let's zoom in, maybe put another material, render, and see what we have. Okay, so this is pretty much it. I hope I explained as much as I could for the first lesson. This is the interface section. Honestly, I understand how daunting the interface is. For me, I feel like getting used to the interface was a little bit tricky. Thing is, you have so many tools here, as you can see: subtool, geometry, array mesh, nano mesh. And remembering where to find things also can be tricky. Also, you have so many menus here. It goes dynamics, macro, movie, preferences, strokes, textures. I would suggest not going hard on yourself. Like, it's fine. And the thing is, some of the people who actually teach Zbrush are really fast. And I understand, because once you get the hang of it, you feel like it's a bit too easy. But I think the first few weeks when you're just getting, you know, to know the program, you're like, this is hard. So yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. This is doable. We can learn it together. I will try to explain as much as I can. So yeah, this is pretty much it for, this is the ugliest shape ever. Wait, I don't like this at all. Let's do a sphere. Okay, let's do this. My sphere's completely ugly now. Okay, just ignore what I'm doing. Let's go to the sphere. And you know what? No, I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Okay, never mind. Forget it. Let's do like a quick review. So this here is to frame. You can also click F. This is here to zoom in and out. This one here is to move. The same thing you can do with the Alt. So you click and you release and you drag and go zoom in and out. If you pick Alt, you can pan. The brushes are here. Click any brush you want. It's okay. If you feel like you messed up too much, so let's say I choose clay. Whoops, what's happening? Make polymesh 3D. If you feel like you're not drawing anything, just click make polymesh 3D. Let's do fold. Whoop. Okay. The geometry, like if you want to divide you just click Ctrl D. So like you see down there, it says subdivide mesh, Ctrl D. Ctrl D is the shortcut. So if you want to do Ctrl D, okay. Anyways, what else? Removing in scale and all these things. If you want it, you just click W and you get your gizmo. Now let's say your gizmo is God knows where. You just hit Alt. Okay, make sure you hit W first. You hit Alt and you click on your object. What I like to do is I make sure it's on one orthographic view, so maybe front. And you see these here, just click Alt and choose one of them. So home, make it in the middle. You can literally, centralize the whole thing with these three. So yeah, I think this is it for today's lesson. I feel like I was a little bit messy, but I explained as much as I can with, the brush sizes. I will try to review them more while I'm explaining the other lessons until, we just stop being so dependent on going back to the basics. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. So this was the interface, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If anybody's interested, honestly, in these shapes, they're ready actually as 3D models exported as objects in my website. So if anyone's interested in buying them or getting a copy, then they exist. They're honestly only for my book because I want to publish a book where, I collect all these projects. And it's fun. It's really fun. So I hope this wasn't too messy, and I guess I'll see you in the next tutorial.